Making a Roblox game and it's map making time. But first, a bit more about my game. It's called button multipliers and the goal is to get the best multiplier possible. How? I don't know, go look in the title. Okay, let's get into it. So I want this game to have a minimalistic style because one, originality. There are so many games that use a low poly style, and two, it's easy. I started by lifting the spawn point and putting the ground under it so the ground and spawn point don't clip. I also made walls, tested them to see if they work. The reason why we have only 2 walls will be saved for later. I also want to add grass tops to the walls because just having dirt walls would be weird. So I made those. Next, we have 2 decorations, hills and trees. First, the trees. I made the trunk and I tried to make branches, but it didn't work out, so I just did a spear on a stick. I copy-pasted the trees and made the hills. Now the plains are done. Now let's move on to the meadow. The meadow structuring, I copy-pasted the plain structuring because the meadow structuring is basically the same as the plain structuring but with an extra wall. I added the extra wall and now we're doing the decorations. This time there's only 1 decoration, flower. I added the stem and pistil. Yes, that's what the center of a flower is called. Seriously, who named this? Now it's petals time. I tried using solid modeling, but the petals were too big and scaling units was a nightmare, so bad news, I forgot to record the second recording. So I just added the rectangular petals and that's all for the decoration, so it's time for... If you haven't noticed, making an area has 4 steps. The first step is to make the ground, the second step is to make the walls, the third is to make the tops, and the fourth is just decorations. In that recording, I did the first 2 steps. This time the palette is white and blue instead of green and brown. I added the hills and that's literally it for the tundra. I did the first 3 steps. It's gonna be a recurring theme in this video. Like the meadow, this area has only 1 decoration. The actual ice bikes. So I made those. First 3 steps done, palette is plains but darker, and there's only 1 decoration and it's trees. For some reason I did the taigas for 3 steps before the forest decorations. I have no idea why, but it's time to start the decorations for real this time. Remember the trees from part 1A? The trees in the forest won't be like those ones. Instead, it'll have cones and a stump rather than a sphere and a stump. The thing is, Roblox doesn't have cones. That means we'll have to import it from a file. Unfortunately, the only 3D modeling software I have is Paint 3D, which its interface, let's just say, sucks. I tried making a cone, but it was too wide and it was gray and you can't resize or recolor imported models. I made a new one and it worked. However, there was 2 problems. 1, it's really small, and 2, it's off-center. However, it was no big deal. I resized them, made the stump, copy-pasted, and it's done, so we're time for... As mentioned previously, I did the first 3 steps and the decorations are trees and mud. The trees were copy-pasted from the forest and the mud were just brown cylinders. And it's the end of the video. You can click off now.